Well, hello. Thank you guys so much for stopping by for another movie review on my channel. This time it's for A Quiet Place Part 2. The long-awaited sequel to the fantastic horror 2018 film, A Quiet Place. This movie. Look, I made it a thing on my channel to basically only talk about things that I enjoy. With that being said, I don't even know if that says anything, but A Quiet Place Part 2 is something that I really like. It's actually more than just like, it's an absolute love. You need to go out and see this movie. This is a movie just like, 2018's A Quiet Place, where you have to watch it in theaters. It's just a surreal movie experience where a movie forces everyone to be quiet. I mean, you're supposed to already be quiet in a movie theater, and when a movie, the whole point of it is to be quiet too. It's kind of like this meta game that you play with the movie. It's like you're a character in the movie as well, right? It becomes really surreal. Let me tell you something. Okay, so I came into this movie really skeptical, okay? I knew I was going to watch it at some point, but I'm not a sequel lover, okay? And this is interesting because John Krasinski revealed recently at this Vanity Fair video where he was dissecting his opening scene of the movie, he didn't want to do a sequel. You know, he didn't want to mess up something that was already so good, and I give him props for that because that means he's a true artist.
I got into the sequel world by saying I didn't want to do it. There was an immediate response from the studio that they wanted a sequel. And I think I realized in the process that I am an audience member first before I was a writer, director, or actor in the movie. And as the audience member, I've always been weary of sequels. Why would you do another one when the first one was so good? How are you going to expand the world? I had all those same questions. I had no intention of doing it. I told them to find another writer, director. And while they were sort of contemplating that, I had this tiny idea. My producing partner on the movie, Andrew Form, said, well, can you just write out an outline to give to any writer, director we hire? And I said, yeah, sure, no problem. And as I was writing the outline, I was halfway through it typing and I went, damn it, I'm directing this movie.
Look, sequels, Spider-Man 2 is arguably better than Spider-Man 1, so that's good, right? What other movies can you think of where the sequel is better than the first one? The Conjuring, right? So, I mean, it's definitely possible. It's just that, like, I guess I'm a pessimist at heart. That's what I am, okay? If something is perfect and beautiful, I want to keep it as perfect and beautiful as possible, okay? I don't want to ruin it. I'd rather not risk it. That's the person that I am, I guess. So, A Quiet Place Part 2, I was like, look, I love the first one. The second one, god damn it, dude, like, no. God, no. God!
No, God! No! God, please, no! 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 No!
And, I went with my girlfriend to watch it. And my girlfriend was like,
look, it's John Krasinski. He wouldn't mess it up. Okay? Like, it just wouldn't happen.
And I'm like, but the studio wants him to do a second one, so, like, it's probably gonna be garbage, and, but no, it's not. It's not garbage, okay? They freaking did it. They did it. Okay, they did it. They absolutely did it. They really did it. And my girlfriend was like,
I told you so.
And I was like, yeah, you told me so. John Krasinski told me so. And Emily Blunt told me so. Oh my God. And Cillian Murphy told me so. Oh man. Let me just put this in the most simple way I can, even though it's not going to be simple. Does A Quiet Place Part 2 top the events of the first movie? Does it top the story? Does it top the tension, the thrills? What I'm going to say is that the only reason it doesn't top the first movie is because the first movie did it first. It's a cop-out answer, but actually, I did actually muster this up actually after the movie. I did tell myself, no, the first movie, the climax of the movie, the birth of Evelyn's baby, okay, that is the climax. I mean, you cannot top that. Like, having a baby in a world where you have to be quiet, That is literally storytelling genius, right? You can't really top that. But this movie, A Quiet Place Part 2, definitely tries, and it goes the mile. I'm telling you, it goes the mile, and it actually is, I would say, it's more ambitious than the first one. I'll say that. But John Krasinski, and this time he actually had sole writing credit. He wrote the second movie, like, entirely, which is amazing. And the fact that Jim was able to give us, you know, two of the greatest horror movies of all time, like, are you kidding me? But yeah, I think, you know, the second one is much more ambitious. It definitely tackles a lot more story beats than the first movie. The first movie is very simple, I guess. The second movie is still very simple, but it just has more... It deals with characters a lot more. It focuses on characters a lot more. Cillian Murphy's character really had a home run in this movie. He had a great climax, great character development to him. The deaf character in this movie, the daughter of the Abbotts, her name is Reagan. She's wonderful in the movie. The son, Marcus, he is wonderful as well. In terms of character development, everyone in this movie has a beginning, a middle, and an end to them. You can argue that Emily Blunt's character doesn't really receive that, but I think she received that in the first movie. So, like, really, in this movie, it's the evolution of the Abbotts as a family, and you really get to see that. I'm jumping all over the place, but I mean, back to the climax. Climax is a giant part of A Quiet Place. There's climax in all movies, but especially in these movies. A Quiet Place Part 2, much more ambitious. It combines multiple story paths, and the way that John Krasinski cuts from certain things, like, you know, one character will be doing this thing, and then it'll cut, but it'll cut in a very clever way, and then it'll transition into the second character. The way that this movie in general, the way it's shot, is very clever, very genius. John Krasinski tries to go for the stars for this one. He has a lot more on his plate. This one has a lot more special effects than the first one. There are different places in this one, you know, they're just different environments, much more different environments. Everything is just on a grander scale in this second movie. And the fact that Krasinski pulled it off as well as he did is beyond me. It really is. This movie had me on the edge of my seat, and I was anxious about, like, you know, halfway on. Like, you know, I was just, like, in it, and I was feeling stuff. I was feeling all the feels. I was angry, I was frustrated, I was scared. It's brilliant what a great movie can do to you, especially a movie that relies so much on tension. The music, the little music that there is wonderful in this movie. It really serves. And it's funny, you know, because it's a movie about silence, yet there's music. And that's a very deliberate, the way they do it, it's a very deliberate choice whenever they put music. But you got to be really careful, you know, you got to put the right amount of music, the right music too, and they definitely pulled it off. The acting is wonderful. These characters are forced to tell stories with their face, you know, express emotions with their face. They have, you know, little dialogue, and they have to tell the whole movie and their whole role with their face. Emily Blunt, like, her face is very blunt. Like, I mean, you look at her face, and she tells you everything you need to know with her face. John Krasinski, he has the perfect face for a movie like this, okay? His eyes, his mouth, his cheeks, the way he trembles, he's in it. You really feel like he's your dad almost. Like, it's crazy. The kids did a wonderful job acting. Absolutely, they're acting beyond their years. But yeah, I mean, this movie left me speechless. It really did. It made me fall in love with going to the movies again. It's such a joy to be back after, you know, these trying COVID times. The perfect movie to go back. I mean, Army of the Dead was great, and now A Quiet Place Part 2. It's just wonderful. Closing thoughts, I mean, this is what I'm saying. This is my final verdict. Final verdict. A Quiet Place Part 1 is better than A Quiet Place Part 2 just because it came before it. That's it. That's it. The second movie is like right here. It's just right there. It's just rubbing neck and neck. That's what's going on. Sorry about that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please go ahead, give this video a like, share with your friends, or subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my content. It really means a lot. It helps a lot. Please leave down in the comment section. Tell me your thoughts of the movie. Do you agree with my take? Do you disagree? I'd love to know. You guys, take care. Stay safe. And until next time, I love you.